How long is it gonna take?
I'm gonna give it a TSM 30 minutes. That's gonna be my first prediction here. We'll see how wrong I am, because if they don't win in 30 minutes, then we're gonna be here for 60 minutes. Honestly, that's the type of game that Farseers are gonna want to drag TSM towards.
Yeah. While we have a small pause here, I'm actually curious. How many times in his professional career has Fear played a lone druid? I think I've seen him play it like once or twice before, but definitely not all that often. I'm really, really curious. Let's check. Uh, Also, whilst we are paused, let's see. Got some vision around the mid lane. Yeah, so far nothing really special, right? Just normal start to Dota. Everything's fine. Everyone's chilling.
Yeah. The only thing that could be interesting is if a rogue Wraith King ends up getting a little bit too close to the hill here on the high ground, but otherwise, it should be pretty chill. Hopefully. We don't want an early chaotic game. That's what TSM wants. If you want to be a Fart Studios fan, you're going to pray that these lanes simmer down and stay quiet, because they get a few too many levels, especially on the Tusk, and then Whiteman can just create opportunities everywhere. It's the greatest strength of the Tusk. It's just that amp damage early on, making the lanes so miserable to play into. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult. It's where I do like that the LD will just kind of make that safe lane stable, gives Jenkins specifically just time to go through that portal. He's able to throw some more ganks Jaeger's way, and I think that'll be a huge part of this early game. It's the best part of LD. It's just leaving him alone, giving him some space to work with. But until then, we'll have to see what happens. And we do have Kasane having to deal with offlane Kunkka, because of course, typically we see this here in the mid lane for a very good reason, because you're slowed down. You don't get your X combo 7 minutes into the game. Your Tidebringer levels come in a little bit slower. Your battle towards level 3 is not that easy. So what is typically just an automatic trade win in the lanes doesn't happen with offlane Kunkka nearly as easily. It's where winning that lane is a lot bigger part of TSM's early game than they might be thinking.
It also means that we're delayed from getting the level 20 water park. Thank God.
True.
It'll be a while before we see that. Very happy, if I'm honest.
Not sure, but this lane is starting to feel.
So this is funny. So this is Fear's 45th game on Lone Druid. But the interesting thing is, in one of the qualifier games that got them here, he ended the game with a Divine Rapier in his inventory. I wish I was watching that game. That sounds really, really fun to see. But I'm excited to see what the TI winner, the homie Clinton's, got cooking here for us. Now we are underway.
That game was silly. I want to say it wasn't even his. I don't even think it was his. I don't think he bought that rapier. But you know what? He ended with it. That's all that matters.
So this mid lane, the one that we are most concerned about. How should I Annihilate be playing this to ensure he doesn't get absolutely bodied by Brow?
Simply get level 3, 2 points up in shield crash. You're gonna have to eat the magic damage no matter what. That's the saddest part about this matchup. Playing on those range creeps perfectly is the best thing that you can do, but we'll give him that one. As soon as Brow hits level 3, though, that's where you typically get 2 points up in the dagger, and then all you can do is walk back in the wave whenever you get shadow struck. But in the meantime, just be simple, play easy, make your way towards that bottle, and then hopefully Nusham can make some time here for you, because eventually the trades start going south for the Pango really quick.
It's already not the healthiest situation, but it certainly does get worse. As long as he can hold his own, I think should be okay. It helps a lot that he's playing Pango, so he doesn't have to worry about some of these rotations that could emerge from the side lanes. And how are these side lanes doing? Top, Kasane on his Kunkka. Let's see. Is anybody here really under threat? Like, one side has Kunkka AA, other side has Grimstroke Bear. I feel like you just trade farm in this lane, right?
Yeah. The only kill attempt that can really happen here is if Immersion ever steps up a little bit too far forward to get control of that large camp. But with the way that the lane is currently going and with where the creeps are at, nobody's upset. Everybody's going to keep on trading. And it's interesting that Immersion is actually on this AA in this lane, but what they're doing is kind of disgusting. They're just having him right-click the bear off cooldown. Fear's already on a resummon. His bear's not too healthy. They're really punishing these early levels. He's just constantly finding trades and damage onto the bear, even prioritizing it over getting some of these ranged creeps, just because he knows Fear can't lane, and currently Jenkins is focused on pulling, so he's actually winning a lot of these trades.
To make matters even better, are you really worried about level 1 Bear? Not so much without the Grimstroke being nearby, so good stuff in the top lane for TSM. Down bottom, things looking okay for them. You know, Timaro getting some decent CS. Jaeger's also farming away on the other side. But here there is a bit more kill threat. I'm especially worried for Fort Studios once we hit level 3 on this task. I think Nusham's positioning is going to have to be very, very good to keep himself alive, or he's going to have to just hold and pray for that point in Shadow Realm.
Yeah, and that's the best part of this Dark Will. You do have that get out of jail free card. You can survive a little bit longer, but anytime that Whiteman stops showing, you have to adjust your posture. You have to give the Weaver more respect. You're not able to play as far up on Tomato as you otherwise would like to. Simple play from Whiteman, just gets the range creep.
Very awkward that they went for the play now. Now they're going to turn around for this. Fort Studios were hoping to run down Whitemon. It's almost like Jaeger didn't believe his luck that this was actually happening. He was a little bit shy about stepping forward and being like, wait, we could have gotten this kill. But nonetheless, they're going to force quite a lot of regen out of Whitemon here.
Oh, and that's something that they've been very stingy about. Neither the Tusk or the Weaver really have too much coming in from their couriers. They actually have no more regen coming in from their couriers. So with these next few waves, if Fart Studios can continue to spin these trades, I'm all for it. Even though, okay, here's the bugs.
Whitemon brought in a blood grenade instead of some regen. They're going on to Jaeger and they're going to find the first blood. They might be able to go for a second. Nusham falling very low. Tomato only has the 2 points. No, okay, never mind. Double kill, easy. I really thought Nusham was going to run away, knowing that it's only 1 point Sakuchi so far, but sticks around a little bit longer, gets brought down. It's a double for the Weaver. And TSM, that is a very good lane down bottom. That's a lane that's going surprisingly well up top. And of course, they are crushing in the mid lane. This is not boding well for Fort Studios.
No, it's perfect. Whiteman kills himself to the neutral creeps, buys a salve, buys tangos. They just have this damage calculation that is just absolutely perfect. And they caught Fart Studios, honestly, with their pants down. They just ended up in a situation where they're committed. They have to trade. They have to play into the fight that they didn't even want to start. And you can't just afford to lose all 3 your lanes.
Is Annihilate dead? I think Annihilate's dead. He's gone.
Yep.
Well, got him. Dude, the classic happened. He swashbuckled to try and get level 5, but Brawl was already 5, so he's like, oh, wait, you don't have swash anymore? Awesome, great. Just jump him and kill him. Very easy. Oh, boy. Alright. Although there's all signs of life being shown here, ET. They rotated up into the top lane to ensure that we could get a kill onto this Ancient Apparition. So it's not all doom and gloom. Fear is still farming quite handedly on the Lone Druid. Looks like he's going to be their primary hope for this game.
No, he absolutely will be. Of course, this just means that Braille gets more bottle refills.
Oh no, mid lane! Annihilate! He swashbuckled again in the same spot! Oh no, I've seen this movie, and you were mentioning that down bottom they need to be careful when Whitemon goes off map. It's not just Nusham, it's the mid laners as well. They might be able to find some revenge here though. Inkswell will connect onto him, but Whitemon has shards, has Snowball, and he's also a strength hero. He's just too damn tanky right now. Nusham will at least be able to TP out, thanks to the Shadow Realm, but this cannot feel good for Fort Studios. They come mid just to watch their mid laner die, and they don't even find revenge for his life.
No, that was a really greedy TP as well from Nusham. He was TPing towards the bottom. He wanted to stay back out on the map because he knows that things are going badly right now. They have to keep this pressure on. Tomato's already level 5 though, so shutting out the Weaver, you're not going to find those cheeky kills on him anymore. You're not going to see a 10-second cooldown Shikuchi. It's where Tomato is really starting to get out of that danger zone. And the only thing you have going for you is top, which is something. They've got Lone Druid. They've got him on the carry. But this isn't your Lone Druid offlane that's going to start running around the map and Annihilate.
Oh, no.
Is this a solo kill?
Yeah,
kind of feels like it.
To be fair, this is not that surprising. We literally were talking at the end of the draft about how awful this matchup is going to be for him, but as much as I would like to say I could not see this coming, this is a very bad matchup. Such things are not out of the bounds of possibility. And to make matters worse, you were mentioning how Fear is at least farming up, you know, getting big on the Lone Druid. Carry to carry? The Lone Druid matchup sucks, dude, against Weaver. I would much rather be Weaver in this situation. Like, I used to spam Weaver, and I would be ecstatic when the enemy team went for Radiant's Lone Druid. That was absolutely nothing to me as a hero.
No, it's not great. It's not what you want to see, and you're not rotating. You're not going to Fusel first. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but bottom, Jaeger eats a huge amount of damage, but fortunately for him, he does have backup. Fort Studios coming in to defend him. They want to try and bring down Whitemon, but he's too damn tanky. He's still alive on the Tusk, and now they're potentially turning onto Jenkins because Brawl has shown up, ready to lend aid into his crew as they bring down the Grimstroke, a dominating streak for the Queen of Pain. Unfortunately for TSM, though, some of these heroes are low on resources. So they might not be able to keep the push going, but they definitely can keep the skirmishes going in their favor pretty much indefinitely with this draft.
Yeah, you're just happy that you get to walk away on that Wraith King. You get to chill just a little bit more now, but at the same time, Brow's right back to mid. He's right back to bullying Annihilate. He's not able to stabilize at all. Immediately back on those 8-minute runes. You've got every support in the game here bullying on this DD. You're getting dewarded. It's just a presence that you're not able to muster from Fart Studios, where TSM are just on it. And you can see it reflected in their support's levels. Whiteman's level 5, Immersion's level 4.5. They've succeeded in the early game. And the only way for Fart Studios to claw back now is making plays happen with Rolling Thunder, getting those Inkswell, the cheeky plays going. And here we go mid. Mistake from
See if this
TSM.
play works out. There's going to be a Rolling Thunder. Nice little shots there, blocking off the rest of the team. But nonetheless, it creates an avenue for the double stun onto Quap. Some rare mistakes this game from TSM. They mess up getting away from the Pango, they mess up the shards, and that leads to a huge kill. And that kill ET also gets given to the Pango. You could not script a better situation for Fart Studios if you tried.
No, immediately. It's only boots, but he's got boots now. He can start making moves on the map. And that's what they need to do. Like clockwork, they have to make plays, especially with their Grimstroke, who's been sapping and pulling constantly in that top lane. He's such a high level. You just have to make plays happen. You have to have somebody to go in, whether it's the bear or if it is just Pango running in, killing himself. You got to do something. This, though,
they're going middle onto
can't do much.
Jenkins. Very easy to kill him. They did mess up the combo a little bit, but it's Grimstroke, unfortunately, against Queen of Pain. These things happen. So, Brow immediately back on the map. The one big thing, though, for Fart Studios, despite the success TSM have had skirmishing all across the map, they've pretty much gotten no tower damage out of this. Like, the actual map state is still pretty decent, and that's reflected in the gold lead. Despite them bleeding kills all across the map, they're not that far behind in net worth as it would suggest.
No. They've made it out, and I think with the LD in his position, we'll see how Greedy decides to go. Again, Whiteman, just a thorn in everyone's side here. Beautiful snowball as well, just getting him out. He's not completely out, but there's no way he dies here. And yet again, regen rune. One that Annihilate will be able to bag. Not the Arcane or DD that he would have loved, but something in his bottle.
Bro, I am fully okay with this if I'm Fart. 4 heroes have to come mid from the enemy team. My Lone Druid still farming. My Jaeger, Wraith King got to finish level 6 and a little bit more down bottom without being interrupted. We get to clear our camps and then still stack an additional Ancient. Aye! I feel like Annihilate must have some very interesting gods he prays to, because this game does not look like how it should for him. Everything is going much better than expected.
Yeah, I think, especially with this Ancient stack, going to get closer towards that level 10 where you've got that extra range with Swash where your hero just gets that much easier to play. It's going to be like a 15-minute Diffusal Blade, but at the same time, you're okay with it. And like you said earlier, they're not getting these buildings as fast as they would like. They haven't really been able to. Finally, Kasane has a pretty convincing push going on in the top lane, and his lane has been extremely quiet. Honestly, the way that he's playing Kunkka is less so like Kunkka and more like a Centaur, where he's really looking to get as much net worth out of that top lane before he decides to give it up. It's where they are able to extend this laning stage, and they are putting the gas on a little bit here. With those cards putting pressure on these tier 1s, even in the bottom lane, they're finally starting to get some of these objectives rolling.
Top lane first tower to fall in this game, but Fart Studios will have anticipated that move coming. They're now going to be trying to shell and defend the mid lane. Make sure that this map still has Fear having space to farm up. Bro, he's almost got the Radiance on Fear. Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
No, he's been gunning for it. Unfortunately, Jaeger is also gunning for it, so maybe they'll talk about that. And yeah, okay, he switches up his build, but at the same time, though, it's tough because you are taking away a very valuable item for your Wraith King just to give you a little bit more of that team fight strength. Of course, Radiance, one of the best items you can buy versus physical damage. It's going to make you live a little bit longer versus Tusk and Weaver especially. It looks like Fear is moving, trying to get out of dodge here, but it's a very convincing smoke, and he does dodge it.
Smoke dodged, and now they're going to smoke up themselves as Fart Studios as they've isolated potentially this Weaver all alone down bottom. 3 of his allies are smoked up top, so they're not in position to help him if something were to occur. He's ensconced in the trees at the moment, but I think they have an awareness. There's the ping. They know what's up. But how do they catch him here? They need to connect directly with the Rolling Thunder, but this is a Weaver. Tomato also has the time lapse. I don't think this gank is going to pay off for them, and they are going to let it go. Just instead, back off, put some pressure on the tower, and wait, no, never mind. They're going to stick around. Allies are appearing for TSM. Tomato doesn't want to leave, getting backed up by Whitemon. But this Observer Ward will alert them the fact that Immersion is all alone. They're going to go for him instead. The Ancient Apparition on the left. He is dead for sure. Throws out the Ice Blast to defend himself slightly. But without the AA, I think you finally leave this area. Let the tower go down. Fear has shown up as well with his bear. And they will be able to threaten and finally get some real estate on the map in their own advantage for Fort Studios.
Yeah, not just that. They sound the full retreat. Every member of TSM decides, yeah, this is not the fight we want. We don't want to risk ourselves here. In fact, 2 cores just TP mid and start beating up the tower. So they do find pressure elsewhere, but a little bit of gold. Something going for you. That was a lot of time that the lone druid ended up not farming because he was trying to get as involved as he possibly could have in that situation. But that's also where, until we get a Blink Dagger on the Pangolier, they can't start fights on him. If they ever want to try and kill Tomato, it has to be that perfect connection of Rolling Thunder. Honestly, that with the Shard, because they need to set up enough time for either the Terrorize or the Phantom's Embrace to come through. Otherwise, that play doesn't work. But now with the map as open as it is, with TSM taking out these tier 1s, you also have to start getting concerned about what this Kunkka is doing. Because Kasana, he's got boots of travel. He can be anywhere he wants to right now while still farming absolutely everything. And I don't think you want to give him a free Ags timing. You'd barely want to give him a free Shard timing with how great it is, but he's going to start getting active very quickly.
You know what I love about stats in Dota 2, or just in general in life, is depending on your sample size, depending on your representation, depending on the question you ask, you can get very intriguing results. So, the intriguing result here is that Fear on his lone druid, this Radiance timing, well, we'll talk about it after he dies, because there is no way out of this one, buddy. Ice Blast, the drag back with the X, both connects, he's dead for sure. But, you know, you were talking about how he showed up for the fight, wasn't farming for like 20 seconds. Turns out he has a fastest Radiance on lone druid since 7 point... Oh, actually, since 7. Yeah, you have to go back to like 6.88 before you find a faster one. Kind of incredible.
Well, goes to show an... Oh! 0.2 on the TP out there. Okay.
Oh my god, I was so close.
He manages to survive that. But sadly for Fart Studios, that kill that they did bottom is clockwork. All of their abilities, less than 60 seconds, they can kill whoever they want, whenever they want to. It just becomes a vision game, and now I Annihilate, well, yeah. He was
the one that targeted Whitemon. Let's see if he's going to be happy about the decision. It turns out not, because he's been dragged back by the Kunkka, and they do manage to bring him down. There is going to be a Terrorize thrown in after the Soul Bind with the stun onto Weaver. Tomato, though, they just don't have the damage to kill him off just yet. And they get out of dodge with TSM. Nobody the worse for wear. That, oh no, and then Jaeger armlet toggles with Ice Blast still on him, so he dies and loses the first life. Ain't that a bitch? Game is hard, bro.
Yep. It's a classic what can you do moment, but you know, you move on. You don't have Wraith King ulti now. I honestly think he would have loved to pop it in the middle of that fight, because at least you would have secured a Whiteman kill, but instead, you get nothing. Your Pango still ended up dying. And the real question for Fart Studios is, what is our next play? They clearly can't take a stab at that mid tower. They're just getting shoved off. They're too afraid to put themselves out there, especially when they don't have a tier 1 of their own. But finding plays at night is difficult. Usually you just want to post up, farm, stay near your wards, but you're letting the cores on TSM get away with murder right now. 3 core, 16-minute, 8k net worth. This is a mistake,
might be able to murder Kasane, though. He walks in all by his lonesome. I don't think he caught the memo that invisibility is not invulnerability. Sadly, he'll have to update his priors. Now, that is a massive, massive kill. A huge amount of gold given away, most of it given to the lone druid as well. And if I know how Fear thinks about Dota, the reason they're playing in this area, they want to secure Roshan as soon as possible. Maybe not in this cycle, but definitely before the next nighttime.
Yeah, and the only reason that I think he feels that confident is A, because of that Invis rune, but also because they have good vision here. They've got a nice ward sentry combo. They should have known more about where Fart Studios were playing, and they just get caught off guard. Jenkins, though, well, he found the ward. He knows.
Yep.
Do they stick around here, though? I don't think so. There's no Wraith King ulti. There's too much to lose in this engagement, and they do decide to back off. They just have to back off fully, because Kasane, he's still gunning for picks, and with that X, I mean, he's gonna start dragging you.
Yep, and he's got the tidal wave as well. They're gonna be able to get the boat out, so Coco Rum will keep him alive. But they're thinking about taking the fight. Ice Blast comes through, connects very nicely, but the Ice Shards will prevent the escape from Kunkka. Kasane dead yet again in the top side of the map. The question is, do they want to pursue this fight? I Annihilate gets the swashbuckle onto this Weaver, but a little bit too difficult to catch up to Tomato. Nonetheless, though, I'm on the side of Fort Studios. Yeah, it's not great that we're being pinned to the top side of the map, but it is very good that we keep killing this Kunkka and its cores that keep getting the gold for it.
Yeah, and I think with this build-up that Kasane has gone for, he is pretty paper thin. There's no heart, there's not that much tank coming out from your Kunkka until he gets that Aghanim Scepter going for him. At least he gets the boat out slightly earlier in that situation, so he doesn't just outright die. But messy engagements like that end up forfeiting gold. TSM have to be a little bit careful, because all it takes is one messed up team fight when the Roshan flips sides, and then suddenly Fart Studios can take that away from you. Your Weaver doesn't get that free Aegis, that free first Aegis that typically you need almost on that hero to secure your mid game. They can steal that, then I think your game plan gets a whole lot more convincing for Fart Studios, even though still they're upset with the pace of the game. They want to go faster. They want to make plays every time this Rolling Thunder's off cooldown. And they've got a blink now on Annihilate, so I can only imagine they try to smoke, they look for kills. Unfortunately for them, TSM isn't showing absolutely anywhere right now. They're completely off the map, so they can't really show either. They're definitely hiding on these corners.
Bottom side of the map. It seems like where TSM need to start focusing their efforts. Roche swapping sides quite soon. So they certainly want to, if not get it themselves, deny the side of Fort Studios taking it. But like you mentioned, there is a Weaver in the game, so it's not that complicated for them to secure the Aegis. Where's Braille going next? So he's going for the Aghanim Scepter out. We're going to get that stupid AoE strike. Honestly, that spell is a bit too dumb. Like, that plus the 15 talent, it's yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad. It's never a point where a Queen of Pain feels like it should get to, because the hero, is lackluster for damage for most of her game, and then suddenly it just spikes, especially versus Wraith King skeletons. Even just Lone Druid in his bear is enough to get those bounces really hurting that backline. But smoke action, this is the play they want. They want to kill a core. Unfortunately, with the shield rune, Bryle is not your target, so you want literally anyone else, but he's the only one showing.
They're still gonna try for it though. There is gonna be an attempt using the fear, but where is the damage going on to him? There's the Soulbind leashing them together, but they're playing very far away from the Rolling Thunder. The initiation, the execution from Fort Studios letting them down, and now they're gonna start bleeding heroes. Jenkins is the first to fall. A boat dropped on the edge of the fight. It catches fear. He's inside the tidal wave. He's inside the torrent. He's attempting to TP out, but he will be denied, as TSM have more than enough damage to kill him off. Tomato playing very low into this Pango as well as the Dark Willow, but still more than enough tank ability to survive that fight as they kill off the Lone Druid, the Pango, and now the Wraith King. It is a 4-for-1 affair. It's only the Dark Willow that survives this, and TSM happier than ever because not only do they win the fight here, ET, look where they've won it, nearby the Roshan pit. The moment they refill their resources, easy to take down the big man.
Yeah, and that's just the worst situation. The only hero showing is a Shield Rune Queen of Pain, waiting for you in the nighttime. You can't burst her, you don't have enough control. And on the backside of that, Tomato has a bottled DD rune, completely ready for the engagement. They would have used it to Roche if that fight didn't come to them. But they also find the perfect pecking order. They get both of the cores, they save the Wraith King for last, you don't have to deal with the slow in the fight, they don't even look at him. He's throwing out stuns, he's trying to stay on heroes, but he can't do much of anything. And then the fight blows up in your face. That fight was also taken before TSM had any of their big items. That's before Quap eggs, that's before Kunkka eggs. The team fight is not getting any easier for Fart Studios. They're getting to a point where they need to pray for a miracle.
Some aggression coming out from Tomato as he's contesting with fear over these Ancients. But the main thing is they're reminding Fart Studios who is boss. You're not allowed to play in this area of the map. This area of the map belongs to us, as does the entirety of it, in fact. They're playing aggressively. They're not coming back for the Roshan. They're going to go into Fart Studios, who's lost a lot of life thanks to this Tormentor being taken down.
Oh,
Look at the HP. The Ice Blast flying through the pores. Fear. Oh, no. Okay. ET, what do you think? Is this pause going to help or hurt them? Because now, if you're the Ancient Apparition, you have time to line up that three-pointer, baby. Immersion is channeling his inner Steph Curry. I want to see what he's got after the pause ends.
I mean, the big brain, what do you do here? If you read every situation, then you turn towards the Weaver and the Weaver kills you. If you decide to walk down this path, three heroes are gonna get hit. You're gonna get clipped.
No.
There's nowhere to move. There's no situation here. This is, we're watching a dunk in motion. I'm terrified.
All right. Let's see. Here it comes. The three-point shot. How hard is it gonna hit? Oh! It actually whiffs completely. Okay, that's our bad. We casters cursed them. We hyped them up too much. Sorry, Immersion. You know, your debut in NA, we messed it up for you a little bit, fam. Our bad.
Look at the route, though. This is certainly deliberate. The way that they took that U-turn, the way they beeline to the left there, they knew something bad was coming. And, you know, maybe it's slightly off the mark, but oh my goodness. Tactical pause from Fear.
Tactical pause. I mean, he's an old school player, right? So he knows how to still deploy them when necessary.
Oh yeah, he remembers doing that at TI, you know? He's still got that in his back pocket, but at the same time, game's not getting any easier. Your tier 2s are starting to get fired down. Those Agnum Scepters are coming out on the couriers for TSM. You're not finding those plays. Here we go, though. Annihilate. Yep, it hurts. It hurts.
What? Holy smokes. The Sonic Wave, the Scream of Pain with the bouncing Shadow Strike. Easy double kill for the Quap, and it doesn't seem like she's done just yet. Going onto the high ground, Jenkins, very nice silence onto Whitemon, but unfortunately, multiple heroes around to take away the Phantom's Embrace, enable the stun, and give a triple kill towards the Queen of Pain. And they're not, dude, look where they are. Look where they're fighting. They're on the high ground. They're going after Fear. This time around, the Ice Blast will connect. And they do get the kill. Jaeger can't even find revenge onto Tomato. He lacks the damage output. Easy time lapse for the Weaver. Now they just turn and kill the Wraith King. And these heroes can surround him on the high ground, knowing that there's not much in the form of reinforcements. Still though, they will respect some of these respawn timers. And especially respect the low HP of Tomato. And allow Jaeger to escape with his second life. They definitely claim the first one for themselves.
Yeah. And we'll have to see, of course, another great aspect of Kunkka. Nobody even needs to really back if they don't want to. They just X mark, go to the fountain, buy some salves, you know, do whatever you need to do, come back out. There's really no risk at this point for TSM. And again, well, I think he mistimed it. It's a little bit early there. Did not get to X his Weaver back into the fight, but Fart Studios are pressured. They're feeling it. They feel like they need to make a play happen. They are assuming that TSM are going to be gunning for their top towers next, which is not a wrong assumption. They're actually moving over towards their Tormentor, though, which is unfortunate, to say the least, because now is the safest objective they can really look to take on the map, and as soon as they see it, or they're going to have to guess in the Ancients. Otherwise, there's no real play. But they're cutting down. They decide after the Tormentor kill to look elsewhere.
Oh, no! From bad to freaking worse, man. The smoke pops. He has to guess 50-50. You're left or right. Goes the wrong way. And Kasane will never know until he watches the replay how close he was to death. He just waltzes on through. That's a full 5-hero rotation. So you know what, ET? Nobody to defend Roche against the Weaver. Roshan is dead for sure.
Yep. Can't do anything. Nobody claimed it before from that earlier fight. As soon as the Tusk gets here, it gets accelerated even further. The Solar Crest, the bug going. Poor Roche. Bad day at work, you know. We'll kill the bug off him at least, so that'll maybe Big Roche takes slightly longer, but there's no way for Fart Studios to get into that pit. An objective that they would have wanted to fight over. It's the best place for your Pango in a lot of these situations, but they feel like they can make something happen with the little bit of farm they're able to eke out of the map in the meantime, but now all they can hope is they can get onto Bryle. If you can somehow find this kill onto the Queen of Pain, that's kind of your best bet at this point. Unfortunately, your Queen of Pain has 3100 HP. She's tanky. She's not an easy kill. Every hero just scales so quickly in Dota now that, well, this is your easy kill. Can you hit it? Here we go.
They're gonna try. And she took a grand total of 600 damage. She's perfectly fine.
And now,
the same maybe not might need to be said of Jaeger as he gets caught right now. But at the same time, Annihilate coming in to help him out with the Rolling Thunder. They're zoning back Whitemon and Annihilate zoning back the rest of the squad. Sadly though, Tomato is picking off the backlines all by himself, having already killed off Jenkins. Annihilate forced to try and flee the fight, but he's not going to be allowed to. Brawl is chasing him down 1v1. At the same time on the northern side of things, Tomato is just cleaning house. Jaeger's gonna die. Dragged back by the tide. Newsom, no escape for you either, buddy. You might have the Shadow Realm, but the Shadow Realm doesn't give you flying movement. Will definitely end up dead sooner rather than later. They roll onto him with the snowball. Yules into the air to delay proceedings, but the inevitable occurs nonetheless. A triple kill for the Weaver, and a team fight demolished by the side of TSM, and even more real estate taken on their routes to potentially winning the first game.
Yeah. Then they start refilling, they start Xing people, they start pushing on these towers. Fear is not coming back. He is not looking in the mirror right now. He's looking to try and get this harpoon before he even looks back, but Jenkins is dead outside of the fountain. Shouldn't have even left the base, I guess. I don't know. It's not much to say at this point. It's just very difficult for them to do anything now. They don't even have Rolling Thunder once Annihilate respawns. They will try to poke and prod a little bit here, but every core in TSM just does damage. The push is not easy to get them away. Really, it's just going to be losing one racks. They have to wait for Grimstroke and then maybe Fear to finish one more item before they make anything, any type of attempt.
Let's see what they can accomplish here. Mid lane of racks easily taken away. Will Annihilate survive this? He's taken quite a huge amount of damage, forced to go into the roll-up, but the only reason I think he can feel safe in surviving is because he knows Sonic Wave is down. That spell was up, I'd be very worried if I was him. And Bryle, routinely able to jump on the high ground, keep threatening the squad. He knows there's nothing to do anything to him. They can do the X-plays with Tomato to push out the other sides of things. Game is just feeling like it has this air of inevitability around it at this point.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a pinch. Again, they gotta find a fragile target. I don't know if you just do everything to try and kill Immersion at this point, but here we go. They're trying to get the Aegis, and they do get it, but how do they get
life
out?
One, but what's it gonna cost? Ice Blast connects flush onto Jenkins, bursts him down. He's gone. It takes away the Jaeger life, the first one, and the second one will not be lasting that much longer. Very nice Terrorize coming in from the back edge of the fight, but it doesn't help because Bryle's Sonic Wave is even better. Bryle is just cleaning up house right now with the triple kill, but Annihilate finds the stun. Jaeger, between himself and Annihilate, they actually managed to get the kill on the Queen of Pain, but it does require buybacks, and even from beyond the grave, Bryle able to find an ultra kill with his shadow strikes. Everybody though buying back on the side of Ford Studios, but it doesn't matter. The Quap Ags is too good. A rampage from beyond the grave. TSM though still forced to leave as they have lost out on their Tusk, and they will give some due respect to the numerical advantage. Nonetheless though, that fight, it's a good fight for Ford Studios, but only because TSM was massively pushing the envelope. If that fight started off on even footing, the game would be over right now. And they're re-engaging here, ET. They're looking for Jenkins. That's going to be a dieback on our Grimstroke. Annihilate, though, sees 3 heroes low, hoping to clean them up. But little does he know that they are waiting for him. Unfortunately for Kasane, he ran out of mana for the X combo. Not able to get the full degree of disables out onto the Pango. That will mean that the game keeps going, despite the overwhelming lead that TSM have amassed.
Yeah, and you're 4 buybacks down. You push them off the high ground, even though, you know, they did stick around for the Jenkins kill, but you've got something to play for, perhaps, and if they get messy on the high ground again, that was simply just Bryle sticking his neck out a little bit too far, getting caught with too many silences, too many stuns, and you can get chained stunned down still by Pango. It's why the hero is still valued so strongly in the meta, even today, even though the hero's been nerfed over and over and over again. But they're still in a tight spot. And if TSM want to... Oh! Jaeger. What a blink. Slightly missed space from Whitemon, but you have to hope for a miracle at this point. The next time that TSM kisses the high ground, you have to immediately pop something, pop someone. Otherwise, you give them too much space to work with, especially during the daytime. You don't find that angle, and then you just suddenly have to give up a Rax. And that's that decisiveness that Fart Studios need to fight with right now. And here we go. Smoke up. They try for it.
Inkswell out onto Jaeger. They're going for the Weaver again, but they messed up the combo. They feared him, so he actually gets away from the Inkswell. Now they're going to re-engage. Lots of chain disables on the high ground from Kasane.
No.
The tidal wave dragging Jaeger onto the low ground as Queen of Pain assassinates Jenkins. Huge sonic wave connects on the 3 with the Shadow Strike going everywhere. We might be looking at another multi-kill for Pryle. He already got a double, gets himself a triple, and with no buybacks remaining, the towel is thrown in. GG, well played is called, and Fart Studios give up the ghost, allowing TSM to claim this first victory in dominant fashion at the beginning of our qualifiers.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It really